Before I get to the performance, Courtney and Rennie, I did want to ask you about taking this story beyond the town of Venus, because that is what we get a glimpse at in this particular clip here. What was it like figuring out that you had to make this world larger? And can you also maybe tease some of the people that you wanted to include from outside of that small town?
Well, I think the key idea was that the strangers are among us, and they could be anybody. They could be neighbor, they could be your colleague, they could be your cousin. So the townspeople, without painting them over the top or anything like that, without making them weird or anything like that, they just had to be brought into the story in a way that we can start suspecting them and wondering if some of them might be actually involved in these crimes. And like I said earlier, expanding the movie to be not just a home invasion, but including this town and the surrounding areas of the town was just a great opportunity to make the movie more cinematic and more epic and take it to a new direction where we definitely, like Courtney said, we are huge fans of the original film, and we wanted to honor that film by expanding that universe. We wanted to fulfill our own dream and hopefully your dream, which is, what if we could follow these characters beyond this one movie, because we are so interested in this universe. And that's what we wanted to do, and that's why we wanted to expand it, make it more epic, and give you guys more of the good thing.
I think I agree with everything Rennie said, and I think that there's like two major things. One is Maya's doing anything she can to get out of this place. You know, so it's a small town of just under 500 people up in the mountains in Oregon and surrounded by a whole bunch of wilderness and mountains, obviously. So if she has to run out to get away from these people and ultimately back to safety and civilization where there's, quote, normal people, whatever the definition of that is, or more normal than this town, which, you know, may feel a little bit more like, not quite like it's extreme, but more like you went into Wrong Turn or something like that, if you will, but not like Wrong Turn at all, just that it's a place on the side of the road you maybe don't want to go. And so we had to expand it. We had to, you know, make her try to get out and see whether she can or whether she can't get out of this place, and run into a whole bunch of obstacles along the way, you know. And so that was, you know, part of it. And then the other part of it is, you know, if you watch these true crime shows ever, you know, sometimes it's your neighbor that you never knew. Sometimes it's your best friend. You never knew. Sometimes it's a family member and you never knew. And in this town, she runs into a bunch of those people, and frankly, it could be any of them, right? And so that's scary, and yet we're not trying to make it a whodunit in any way, right? But you never know whether the mask is on or off, whether you're actually dealing with a stranger. And that just gives you another palpable feel of tension all the way through the movie, whether it's the strangers in a scene or somebody else in the scene that doesn't have a mask on.
Madeline, I'll build on that with you. So coming out of chapter 1, Maya might think she knows what she's up against in chapter 2, but how does getting out of the town of Venus change the game? How does it completely change what she thinks she's up against with the strangers?
I think it expands her fear and her need for survival, because I think you're right. I think in the first movie she feels like this is an insulated incident, and as she gets more information and knowledge, she realizes that this is actually a lot larger and greater than she ever imagined, and the fear is more palpable, and there's more to be scared of. The more she learns about the world, the more she realizes that this might be larger than she originally expected.
The amount that paranoia we see in that clip, how it cuts through is really something else. It's a big question, but is there anyone she could trust in this movie? Because the heart of the first one is that she's got the ideal partner there, and now in this clip she's presented as kind of completely alone.
Would you consider Ryan the ideal partner? I don't think that man has much survival
in the
instinct.
fight. Well,
I'm going to be honest.
Someone she could trust. I should qualify it that way.
You can absolutely trust Ryan. I think she's smart enough to know there's not a single person in that town she can trust.
Only herself.
And even then,
Well,
wait for
Question.
chapter 3.
want to see a little more about why she can't trust anyone?
Yeah.
And I will also preface this clip by saying it is something else. I'm so excited for you to see this one. Let's roll another clip from chapter 2.